Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss one more long answer question, which is very important in the final examination. The question is, explain relational model. Explain relational model. What are its advantages and disadvantages? This is the question. The question is, explain relational model. What are its advantages and disadvantages? Which is a very important question in the final examination. Okay, right. So generally, what is a relational model? The relational model, the relational model, it was introduced in the year of 1970. Actually, this relational model, it was introduced in the year of 1970 by E.F. Codd. By E.F. Codd. The relational model, all the data is maintained in the form of tables. Okay, so whatever you should go, do you want to developing any database applications? So must and should be to representations or to creating a at least one table. Okay, so this table consisting of rows and columns. Generally, we know that what are the definition of table is nothing but combinations of rows and columns is called as a table. Okay, so in the database management system, whatever you want to managing the data, that should be comes under what is that, into a tables representations. The data in two tables is related through common columns and not through pointers. Actually, whatever should be go to creating the relationship must and should be to creating a more than one table. Okay, for example, do you want to accessing some data from one table or multiple tables? Okay, so for that must and should be to creating multiple tables. Actually, why we need the relational model? For example, it's not possible to accessing proper data by using single table. That's why we need to depends on what is that multiple table. So after creating multiple tables, so we have to create a relationship in between two tables. So that is a relational model, and the makes querying much easy in a relational DBMS, unique the hierarchical and networks model. There are no physical links in relational model. The relationship types of shown in the relational schemas, a table held complete data and structural independence. So generally this data is always that can be independence. Just now told you what is that. So for example, do you want accessing proper data from one table? Okay, so that can be to creating enough one table. For example, it can't possible to accessing the data by one table. So on the time we need to creating multiple tables and to assigning a relationship in between two tables. So that is just wait, dot 1 2 3. This is a relationship model. So the diagrammatical representations of to creating a relationship in between two tables. So how can it possible? So now we need to show that diagrammatical representations of a relational model. Okay, here this is a diagrammatical representations of a relationship in between two tables. So in this we have to creating two tables mandatory. Without two tables creations we can't possible to creating a relational, okay, relationship in between two tables. Okay, so for that here we have created two tables are there, which is first one, what is that, employee table. Okay, second one, what is that, department table. So in this employee table here, what is the number of data presented, what are the columns it should be presented into the employee table. For example, employee having a number and employee name and employee job and employee salary and employee working department number. Okay, so we have to enter what is the details of what is that employee number and name, jobs, salary, department numbers entered here. Okay, right. In this, observe here. So how many department numbers here? 1, 2, 3, 4 department numbers presented here. Okay, so different names and job, salary, department numbers, employee number and department numbers presented here. Here employee numbers is different, department numbers is different. Okay, so for example, employee number 123, name Ravi, working in which department? Department number 10. Okay, for example, here employee number 125, name what is that? Amar working in which department? Department number 10. Okay, for example, Kiran is working in which department number? Department number 30. Okay, so this is employee table. So here from the department table, what is that? Same two columns are presented here, department number and department name. Okay, right. In this department numbers, what are those? 10, 20, 30. And what are the department names? Difference are there. What is that? Finance department and account department and marketing department. Now what happening? How to creating a relationship in between two tables? So for example, is this possible by using what is that? For example, you want to find out Rajesh working in which department name. Okay, is it possible by using single table? No, we can't access, we can't receiving a proper data because of in this table not presented department name. But so on the time we need to depends on another table. So for that we have to creating one more table. So when it is possible in between two tables, we need to creating a relationship. That time only can possible to accessing proper data. So what happening here in this created department name. Now, so after creating a relationship between in two tables, we can easily possible to accessing proper data. Now, so after creation of relationship in between two tables, Rajesh is working in which department? So 20 department number name, what is that? Here depends on second table, account department. For example, Kiran is working in which department number? 30 department number. But what is the department name? So here depends on the second table, department number 30. What is that name of a department? Marketing. So Kiran is working in the marketing department. Is it understand? So based on two tables creation of relationship, we can accessible proper data. That is a important concept of a relational model. Now we need to discuss what are the advantages and disadvantages of a relational model. Okay, we need to discuss right now what are the concepts of advantages and disadvantages of a relational model. So here number of advantages are there. First advantage, what is that? Which is a structural independence. Structurally we can possible to independent to creating multiple tables. And one more, what is that? Improved conceptual simplicity. So conceptual simplicity is improved in this table representations and easier database design. In this way we can possible to easiest way to creating a database designing, and implementations and management is also very easy in this management system. And which is a powerful database management system which isolates end users from physical designing, as well as some more disadvantages also presented in this concept. What are the disadvantages based on this relational model? So first point, which is requires a large hardware and system software overhead. So based on this, we need to managing for we have to using large hardware system software overhead. And second disadvantage, what is that? Which is a possibility of a poor design and implementations. In this way, not completely perfectly designing concept. In this poorly, what is that? Which is possibility of poor designing and implementation. And the last disadvantage, what is that? Which is a potential island of information problems. At the time of to managing this relational model, some problems it should be presented here. That is one of the disadvantages. These are the concept of relational model and what are the advantages and disadvantages of this concept. Okay, so in the next concept we need to discuss in the next session. Thank you.